Ay. I cannot believe that Suds was the first one to run out and bolt out that door to get to recess. Chapter 3. Boink, bonk, boink. I heard the word and felt something hit the back of my head at the same time. I turned. It was Joseph. What was that? I said. This, he said. He held out a pack of gummy bears. Take one. Nah, I said, because I don't like gummy bears. And then, for some strange reason, I heard myself say, okay, and I was reaching out and taking a green one. Thanks. No problem. He took one, a red one, and stuffed the pack in his pocket. So, George, what do you think of all this angel bunk? It's not George, I told him. It's Suds. George is just on my birth certificate. I know what you mean, he said. I'm Joey. I hate Joseph. Teachers always do that. He held out his fist. I stared at it. Bump me, dude, he said. Oh, I said. I bumped him. I guess I did it right because he didn't laugh or sneer. It was my first ever fist bump. So, he asked again, what do you think about all this angel bunk? I'd heard him the first time. I didn't know what to say. To tell him the truth, I didn't really think it was bunk. I didn't realize the word bunk, but it sounded bad. Oh, I don't know, I said. Where's it all come from, he said. I recited the chant for him. I stopped at third grade angels. He sneered, wagged his head. Dumb. We didn't do nothing like that at my other school. I was thinking, well, this is your school now. But instead I said, where was that at? He gave me a name I had never heard of and said, so it's fourth grade. Rats, I said. His whole face changed. Like he had just ripped open the best birthday present he had ever gotten. What? Rats? Cool! I'm gonna like next year. I'm not, I thought. We were standing by the fence near the swings. I saw you looking at her, he said. Huh? I said, even though I knew exactly what he was talking about. Who? I said. The hottie, he grinned. He nodded towards the girl on the swing. What's her name? Judy Billings. So you like her, huh? Heck no, I said. He grinned. You were looking at her in class, too. I thought you were going to smash your nose into the back of her head. I was not, I said. He laughed and he poked me again. Things were getting complicated. I started to walk away, but he grabbed my arm. Hey, he said. Who's that? He was pointing to the big kid sitting on the bottom end of the slide. A line of kids was waiting at the top to slide down, but nobody was telling the big kid to move. Gerald Willis, I said. The kid you were talking about in class? Yeah, he's in 5th grade. He was a rat last year? Yeah. So this is Gerald Willis. Was he the boss rat? Yeah, I guess so, I said. The way Joey was looking at Gerald Willis, I could tell he wanted to be boss rat someday. And then suddenly, he was running across the playground to the slide. He pushed his way to the top of the ladder, threw out his hands, and yelled, Geronimo! And slid down right into the back of Gerald. Gerald. Joey. Geronimo! There we are. It was like a monkey crashing into a gorilla. Gerald Willis didn't even flinch. Joey, faster than you could think, hopped with both of his feet onto Gerald's shoulders, pushed off, and hit the ground running. Gerald Willis was screaming bad words after him, but Joey was only laughing. By the time he got to me, his face was red and his eyes were flashing. He was gasping for breath. Everybody was staring, including Judy Billings. Her swing wasn't moving. And then Joey was walking over to her. He stood in front of her, still gasping, kind of hunched over. She stared at him. Her mouth was open. and he turned back to me. His face was grinning. His arm came up and it was pointing at me. And he squeezed out the words between gasps of air. He loves you. How embarrassing. That's so mortifying. What is Joey doing? Judy didn't move at first. It's like she didn't even hear him. Then her head started turning really slow till it stopped on me. Her face was still the same, boggled and confused, like she was in the front row at a movie. The only other thing that was moving was Gerald Willis, who was heading for Joey. I went into a coma, so it's like he blocked out everything that was happening. And when the school bell was ringing and kids were running for the door, Joey.